I'm Jenny Fish.
And I'm Sarah Delaney.
And welcome back to our Missouri Star Knit Blanket Make-Along.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the last episode, I showed you guys how to make all the blocks. Now we're ready to seam them up and get started. We are using the Barocco Vintage yarn, and you can get the kit that has the pattern and the yarn at onebighappy.com. So you can start back anytime with us and go view episode 1 and then come join me and I'll show you how to...
Episode 1's up there.
Yeah, we'll put a link up above. And I'll show you the next step, which is seaming and then adding the borders. So to get started, I have some cute little samples here.
Teeny tiny little squares.
Tiny. If you did the whole thing, I think it might be like a pillow size. If you did a small version of everything. Okay, so seaming, I'm going to be using a mattress stitch, or also known as the invisible stitch. And it's pretty close to, what I was showing when you pick up stitches, except for this time, I have the right side of the work facing me, and I'm going to go into the corner and come through like this. And you do this back and forth.
In and out.
In and out. So I'm going to leave a fairly long tail. I'm going to pop over here to this one and go underneath here and pick up the 2 legs of that stitch underneath there.
So under the edge on that one.
Mm-hmm. Under and then back. Now, if you have another seaming technique that you like, feel free to use that. I use this one because I like how it folds it. When I pull on this, and I'll show you here in a second, it folds everything under to the back side of the work, and it makes it join right together like that.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to flip it and work from the wrong side and do a whip stitch or crochet them together, you could do that. If you're comfortable with crocheting, you could use a crochet hook. But the objective is to get the blocks together.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple more times of going back and forth. And I'm going...
Yeah, the mattress stitch really can be fun. It's almost like a zipper.
Well, and it's almost like when you're binding a quilt. It's almost, because when you're binding a quilt, you take a little bit of fabric from this side, a little bit, back and forth. It's, if you've ever bound a quilt with thread and needle, that's...
I have not. I'll take your word for it.
Oh, it's super close to the same thing. Okay. You want to keep this fairly loose. You don't want to pull too tight. But once I pull this...
Zip it right up.
It puts it together, and it gives it this is such a small little thing, but it will look like...
Yeah, you get that nice seam.
So you go all the way across, and you put there's a diagram in the pattern that'll show you where the blocks go. You seam them all together. Then once you have them all seamed together, you're ready to make the border. Now, I'm so excited about this border. I will have to tell you, I ripped the border out 3 different times. I tried 3 different borders until finally I found one that I went, simple yet elegant.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a little sample here where I'm going to show you all the steps of the border, but I also want to show you on the quilt at kind of like the same time. So let's imagine this is the quilt right here, this white block. These are the borders. You're going to knit these first, and it's simple garter stitch. So what you do is you pick up all the stitches along this edge, pick up a knit. We've showed you that before. And then garter stitch is just knit, 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 knit on both sides.
Total autopilot knitting.
Absolutely. And the pattern will tell you how many rows and how many stitches and all that good stuff. But that's the basic. So you do that all the way around your
On all
quilt,
4 sides.
On all 4 sides. Just like that. And it'll look a little...
Floppy.
Good word. I was going there. We are 2 minds that really connect.
I gotcha.
Okay, so then once you have all these, you're going to make this little mitered corner.
It's so cute having those little pops of color in the corner.
It is, and it also reminds me of cornerstones in quilts. When I was designing this, I really fell back to some of my quilt knowledge, because I don't know if any of you guys know this or not, but I also did work for the quilt company for several years before I came over to One Big Happy. So I do have a little bit of quilting knowledge. I might have made a few quilts in my past. My husband's actually more of a quilter than I am.
Really?
Yes. He has made 22 quilts.
I love that for Nate.
Yes. And he is his most proudest one is, and if any of your quilters know the pineapple block, he did make me a table runner of pineapple blocks. And that is his most proud, because that's apparently I have never tried it, but it's a pretty difficult block to make. So I had to brag on my husband for a minute. But I did fall back on some of my quilting knowledge. I like the cornerstone ideas, and the mitered square is a little bit more trickier to make when you're quilting a border. A lot easier to knit than to use the sewing machine and make a mitered corner. But so that's where I kind of fell back on that, and I really liked how it turned out. So to get that, let me show you. First, we have to pick up the stitches along each edge of the border that we've added.
Ah, so you're picking up in garter stitch now.
We're picking up in garter stitch, which is a little bit different than when we're picking up these stitches here. I actually find this a little bit easier to find my stitches because you're going in the valleys, or I go in the valleys when I'm picking them up. But you start on the corner, and I've got 10 stitches I want to pick up here and 10 stitches I want to pick up there. So I'm going to pick up the first stitch right here in this corner. And I just, I don't take too much of a time trying to find it. I'm like, if that feels good and sturdy when I stick my needle in there, like I don't have any floppy things running around and it feels sturdy, I just go for it. Make the loop, wrap my new yarn around, and pull it through. And so now I need to pick up 9 more along here, and I like to just dive into these valleys right into here.
Yeah.
All of this is going to turn under and be on the wrong side of your work. So I don't get too picky on this part. Just make sure that I'm in the valley. So when I pull it apart, you can see, oh, there's a valley. There's a valley. Whoop, try not to do that. There we go. Yeah, you don't want to split your yarn.
Just between the garter ridges.
Yep. And then when I get the 10 on here, should be 10 right there. Yep. Then I'm going to flip over to this side and work my way back up the other side of the border. And I want 10 from there.
If you find this technique intriguing and you want to do more of it, because mitered squares are kind of fun, we have the temperature scarf project.
Oh yes!
So if you really want to dive more into mitered squares and have fun with that, you can check out those tutorials here.
And mitered squares are kind of like the knitter's version of a granny square. Like all those projects you can do with granny squares that you see crocheters do. If you make mitered squares, you can do the same, like the vests and the purses and the slippers and all that kind of stuff. You could do it with mitered squares.
It's a great motif you can put together in all kinds of different projects.
So make sure, let's see. I'm missing one more. One more on the edge. There we go. Okay, so now I have all my stitches picked up. Maybe.
That last one's being finicky.
Here we go.
It doesn't want the project to end.
Look at that. Why am I doing that? Okay, there we go.
It's the yarn. Sometimes your yarn has attitude.
And it did, but I showed it who's boss. Okay, so now I'm just going to purl all the way back across, and then I'm going to start making these decreases through the center, right through here. And believe it or not, it is some of the same decreases that we already have showed you, that we already have done in the blanket part. So it'll be super easy for you.
I love a repeat skill.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and purl back across here. Then when I'm ready to show you the center decreases, I'll come back and show you the center decreases.
Great.
So I've turned it over. I've knit 8 stitches. I've got 2 stitches till I'm at my center point here. So I'm going to show you the decreases that we're doing. We're doing a knit 2 together, which is I stick my needle through the 2 stitches, knit those 2 together. That's simple. Another little thing that you might want to do to help you maintain where your middle of your mitered square is to put a stitch marker right in the middle. And that way you can kind of go a little bit on autopilot as you go along, knowing, oh, I'm 2 stitches before my stitch marker. It's time to do my decrease. On this side, though, keep in mind this one, on the mitered square, you only do the decreases on the right side. On the wrong side, we're not doing any decreases.
So every other row.
Yeah, every other row. Okay, and then the next one is the SKP, which is the slip, knit, pass the slip stitch over, which is also what we've already done, and then knit all the way across. Now with the mitered square, it's pretty cool because what it's doing is it's shrinking in the center and bringing the two sides together and forming that square. Okay, so this is where the decreases are. This is where we picked up and started knitting, and as we do those decreases, it sucks in the sides and it forms this triangle, or this square. And it forms this square here. Okay, now once you've worked all of those and you get to your last 4 stitches, I've got this little sample here that I'm just gonna slide my needle right into these stitches and show you how to work. So I'm just gonna slide my needle in here and show you how to finish up the tip of this mitered square. Make sure I get everything in the right spot. So our first decrease was knit 2 together. Then the SKP, slip, knit, pass the slip stitch over. So now I only have 2 stitches left. At this point, I'll show you what I do.
Okay.
I just simply take this one, pass it over, and then I draw my yarn through. I think this gives it a cleaner edge
Then knitting
one more row. And I mean, the technical way for the miter square is to go ahead and purl back and then finish off your end. And that's how the pattern tells you to do it, because that's technically the way to do it. But this is my little tip because I like how that end, it gets a little bit elongated when you add those extra rows. So when you just do that little slip stitch and pass the yarn through, it gives it a more rounder edge. So it's a personal preference, but I wanted to show you that way, and the other way is very intuitive because it's already what you're doing.
Yeah.
So that's it. Then when you're done with that, go ahead and give it one more final block.
Yep.
And it's a little heavy. I did a wet block.
Yeah.
But a steam block would probably would have been better.
Yeah. You definitely want to make sure that you block the finished piece, even if you blocked the blocks individually, because those seams need a little bit of love too.
A lot of blocking to get everything to kind of lay flat, and because it is on the bias and everything's super stretchy, you gotta be very forgiving with this pattern because it's moving quite a bit. But it's so beautiful when it's done.
Let's take a look at that again. Ah, so nice, Jenny.
I had so much fun making it. Okay, so that is all you need to know to make the Missouri Star knit blanket. Thank you, Sarah, for joining me.
Of course.
Thank everyone for joining us. Be sure to check out the crochet version. We'll have the link. And get the kit at onebighappy.com. The kit is the pattern and the yarn, and you can find both of the kits, knit and crochet. So thank you for joining us for our make along. Have a great day and happy knitting.